Hey, what's up, guys? This is John.
Oh, hi. This is Snakeskin. Sorry, Inuyasha fanfiction. How you guys doing?
Wow, yeah, great way to start off this episode, I think.
Sorry, man. Inuyasha kicks ass. I've been watching it again. Ever since I realized Ian Cox, the voice of Inuyasha, voiced Snails, it's like, holy crap, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So, we're here to do our review of Castlemania. It's going to be in a very similar style. There will be some more better edits in the future, but for right now, this is the best I can do. I'm planning on upgrading my capture or my video software to Adobe Premiere very soon here, so we'll be able to do much more smooth stuff. But for right now, this is what we got.
Yeah, Google Plus is being an ass.
Yeah, we tried Google Plus too because I thought we'd be able to do it where we had the big person on this who's talking on the screen and then the two little ones underneath, but that didn't work out. So, but
So Castlemania, brother. It starts off with how'd the episode start again?
it basically starts off with Twilight trying to find out any books in her library about the mysterious chest and the keys to unlock it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the Zelda chest.
Indeed. And then or maybe it's a chest from like Transformers Cybertron with the cyber keys or something. I don't know. Anyway,
So Twilight and Spike decide. No, Twilight's like, okay, maybe the answers lie within the library of Celestia and Luna's old school castle. So
mhm.
Twilight and Spike go to said castle, and Spike is all Concernicus because of the legend of a shadow pony.
Interesting. Yes, Celestia sends them over via letter, which I do like that the animation here, it's the same animation from Ticketmaster where his eyes kind of derp out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they go in.
I look at it as like Celestia is subtly dodging Twilight, like she doesn't want to hang out with her, and I find that funny.
Well, that could be. I don't know. It's like it's like Celestia saying, "You need to stop obsessing over me. You're no longer my student. Stop trying to be a thorn in my side here."
Stop encouraging the fanfics. So then so after the intro, we cut to Applejack and Rainbow Dash, who are for some reason competing with each other again.
Well, it's a good nod to follow their friends, and apparently they're covered in bees.
Yeah, be to see who's the most daring pony. And my thought was, that's not a dare contest. That's a Jackass sketch.
Either that, or it's a death wish.
Yeah, because fuck bees.
Yeah.
And Pinkie Pie's there as the referee of sorts, and then the beekeeper is like, dude, give me back my bees.
Whistles them, and they come flying right back. And at this point, I'm like, oh, thank God they were wearing beekeeper outfits.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, and my thought was, oh, you wimps. Johnny Knoxville would have taken that without any pants on. Bees. My God. Bees.
But then you also have, the famous meme of Nick Cage getting attacked by bees.
Ah, not the bees! Ah, it's in my eyes! So Pinkie
So,
Pie has the all-important job of being assigned to ring a school bell.
and also, I love her way of math. She is apparently a whiz at math, and using no sort of numbers or conjectures from our world, she's just using random pictures, and somehow she's able to see how they work. So it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
mind blown.
So then after that, Rarity and Fluttershy, yeah, Fluttershy, and for some reason Angel,
Hmm.
are walking through the forest, um, there is a Disney Robin Hood reference in there, but I'm not clever enough. And they decide to go to the castle because Rarity, surprise, surprise, is looking for some kind of new design because she wants to hopefully restore some of the stuff in there and then use it for herself. And then Fluttershy's like, dude, this isn't a good idea. And then Rarity's like, calm down, bro. I got this. So they go to the castle. Applejack and Rainbow Dash go to the castle to see who can last the longest because Applejack exposites that Granny Smith told her an old story about the legend of the Shadow Pony or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And apparently, it's kind of weird, and especially I understand that this is Josh Haber's first outing. By the way, new writer.
Did a good job.
That I find interesting. He did do a good job. This is a really good episode. He definitely gets down how the main six interact with each other, and we got some really good we got some showings of previous episodes where we had Applejack and Rainbow Dash as they were from Fall Weather Friends. We had Rarity and Fluttershy from Green Is a True Color, except there wasn't any real jealousy conflict or anything.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
And my Apple Dash prejudice aside, Rainbow Dash and Applejack have some really good comedic timing with each other. My favorite comedic duo of the main six has to be though Rarity and Applejack, just because it's not like Rainbow Dash and Applejack where there's that air of competitiveness. No, Rarity and Applejack just straight up bust each other's balls. It's hilarious because they're so different.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently Rarity wants to go into the castle because she wants tapestries and she wants to restore them.
It's a weak reasoning, but it's so Rarity.
But what I don't get is why was she going in there now, right after the Everfree Forest invaded?
Continuity? What's that?
Exactly. She could have even gone in earlier because they would have seen it when they got the elements of harmony, so why wait until now? But that's besides the point.
No idea.
So everyone gets in, and
if you need me to
Angel gets separated, and you start seeing that this castle has some traps to it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Fluttershy tries to go and grab a heavy tapestry, gets behind, activates a secret switch that flips the wall around.
Easter egg!
Where Dash and Applejack are on the other side, and they're scared out of their wits because they think it's a ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
So they run away. She activates the switch again. It goes back around. Rarity tells her that that she activated a switch or something, and so they go on their merry way. When all of a sudden they fall, and apparently Angel stepped on a switch that
they
caused
needed
them
to
fall into a pit.
They needed to throw holy water on the floor. It's like main six. Do you even Castlevania?
Well, this was a reference to Castlevania anyway.
Yeah, I really like, since we're talking about the traps, I really did dig how each of the traps like intersected and whatever with each other, because it was like a cool little maze, and it was interesting how everything worked. I truly think the Angry Video Game Nerd would have either hated or loved this episode. I say hated because the whole time he would have been just like, it's just like fucking Simon's Quest.
Oh gosh, I would love to see AVGN do a review of an episode. That would be awesome.
Yeah, he'd be like, "What the hell? Celestia says she's always by Twilight, but never helps her out. What a shitload of fuck."
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. So,
Twilight's being an intellectual twat the whole time, basically spitting on Spike's fears of the place instead of comforting him, which, that's my main problem, if I can gripe for a bit with Twilight so far in Season 4. She's always had, there are 3 different Twilights, and I'll make this quick, there are 3 Twilights. there's shy, naive Twilight, which is kind of the stuff where it's like in the earlier seasons when she was kind of learning stuff,
Hmm.
and then there's adorkable Twilight, like in the sleepover episode.
Hmm.
There's a name for that, but honestly, I just prefer to call the episode "Bro, Do You Even Sleep Over?" And then
Look
there,
before you sleep
and then there's
is the
this
episode.
Twilight that's in this episode, and Pinky King, the intellectual, cynical Twilight that thinks she knows everything. I get it. Twilight's the quote unquote main character, but I swear to God, I feel like she's got split personalities or something because Twilight was just annoying me this episode with the fact that because I don't like characters like Rainbow Dash because they're the magnificent bastard type. They gloat, but they can back it up. I don't like characters like Twilight in this episode, especially because there's one thing about being talented. There's another thing about thinking that you're the best and
Yeah,
not actually having evidence to back it up. Because
exactly.
well, I'll go into that later, but carry on.
So, going to Twilight and Spike, they find this huge library area. Twilight has her own little nerdgasm,
Nerdgasm.
and so they're sitting at a table when we cut back to them, and Angel shows up. Spike falls back a little bit, activates a secret passage. They go in, and Twilight finds Celestia and Luna's diary.
Symbolism.
You're really gonna bring that up for every episode, aren't you?
Oh yeah, dude. I know I'm ripping off Film Brain, who's a contributor to that guy with the glasses. But
Hmm.
I just ever since season 3, there's just been so much symbolism.
Yeah, especially with Magical Mystery Cure. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Symbolism
so
overload.
so basically, Twilight and Spike go in there into the passage and they find the diary, and Twilight starts reading it, where she reads it for the rest of the freaking episode. We switch over to Rainbow Dash and Applejack, who make these really good shots of you kind of see that Applejack kind of goes in and out of the shot because she's going down the stairs, and we see that Rainbow Dash is constantly there as a static as they're going down, but they're still conversing with one another because while we as the audience may not be able to see Applejack, Rainbow Dash still can. So it's a really neat effect. Um,
Cinematography.
and then they get to the bottom of the stairs, and Dash says that those are disembodied pony legs.
I
I'm
remember
like,
that.
oh my gosh, they're talking about necromancy here.
Fucking
Um,
metal.
but then the one shot that I love throughout this is the one shot that I love, one expression that I love in this episode. It's when they're about to move forward. Rainbow Dash covers her eyes with her wings and then pops a couple feathers open so she can still see. I was like, that is an amazing expression.
I thought that was funny, and it also reminded me of Sleepless in Ponyville. I got to laugh because because it's almost a callback to that because she's like, "Oh my god, I'm telling the scary story, ha ha." But deep down, I was scared of them, so it made me think
Hmm.
maybe she's still scared of those things, huh?
Hmm.
Hypocritical
Yeah.
symbolism.
So then we see that Rarity and Fluttershy are in this little prison area with a hole. And
I also love
this is where
how Rarity just because there's a point where Angel Bunny gets separated from Rarity and Fluttershy the whole time is like, oh my god, he could be dead. But then Rarity, she comforts Fluttershy, but you can just see in her face she doesn't give two shits about Angel. It's
exactly.
freaking amazing.
So they see that there's a hole in the wall. Rarity sticks her hoof out and grabs Rainbow Dash, scares Rainbow Dash. They both run away, and
That was hilarious.
so Fluttershy thinks that Rarity felt Angel, so she tries to bring it out. She activates another trap that brings them outside of their trappings, and they start moving forward. Now, this entire time, you keep seeing a shadow coming up behind them and that kind of stuff. as well as if you notice a scene before when Dash and Applejack make the actual bet, you see that there is a picture that looks just like the one from Mystery on the Friendship Express, except when it zooms in, you see an eye move. But that's not important for right now. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yes. So basically, Rarity and Fluttershy, Rarity finds a tapestry inside the throne room, and she's like, I totally need to do this. I totally need to see this.
Do one.
So she tries to tug it out, and Fluttershy's like, I'm sorry, but I need to go find Angel. She starts not giving two craps about Rarity.
That's what I love.
Could care less.
That's what I love about Rarity and Fluttershy. Their friendship, you can tell they have a good friendship with each other, but at sometimes it's considerately insincere. You know what I mean? Like in this, that's what they also have good comedic chemistry. Because when Fluttershy got the timid coyness, but with Rarity, you have the calmingness, but you also have the conceitedness, which just meshes so well. It's funny.
It is. And then we have Applejack and Rainbow Dash. I know they switch perspectives so many times in this episode. It can get a little jarring at times. But anyway,
the lulls make up for it.
Yeah. They get into this room with pony armor. And I'm like, that looks like the Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I didn't even think about
the
that.
Design. So, then you start hearing an organ play. And one of the notes gets Applejack to the outside of the castle, and another note gets Rarity to the outside of the castle. And so both Dash and Fluttershy are scared out of their wits now.
Separation's anxiety!
So they start trying to move on without their friends because they don't know where they are. And so
because they know Rarajack is destiny.
So both Rarity and Applejack get back inside the castle. And then you get to an ending part where they're all trying to move back, and they're moving backwards. They hit each other at one point, and they all go ballistic. They start, you see Rarity crying inside a tapestry. You see Applejack running around. You see Fluttershy thinking that because she saw a shadow, she saw Angel, and trying to grab Angel from wreckage. And
oh my god, that was easily one of the best things ever. Everyone's flipping a tit. Rainbow Dash is going nuts. Poor Rarity, like you said, she's crying in the tapestry, and Fluttershy is like freaking out like she's in Vietnam. Twilight comes in, gives an almighty halt, and when she asks, "Where is everybody?" This may sound like a weird thing to think is the best part, but one of the funniest bits was when Rarity under the tapestry just gives a dejected "here." I'm like, "Oh, you poor marshmallow."
It's like Dash asks Fluttershy, "What are you doing here?" And Rarity's like, "She's with me."
Oh, that's it. That was funny.
I love that. Plus, we get to see kind of like a freezing spell from Twilight, which is really kind of cool.
Cast stop. Super effective.
Also, another one of the notes, when they're playing the notes that gets Applejack and Rarity to the outside, there's another note that plays, and it brings another bowl of carrots for Angel to start eating.
Yeah, what the hell?
Wow, that is awesome.
Why does Angel get freaking good fortune?
I don't know.
So then Twilight.
So I guess that's kind of. Hold on. I guess that's kind of making it that they are trying to say that nice guys finish last.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that bull crap, man.
Also, one other thing before we start going forward is that we find out that these traps never meant to hurt anyone at all. They were just
hell. One of them's a slide.
Like to spring. Exactly. I'm like, I want to see that slide.
I know. I just, I
That
just,
sounded so cool.
I just pictured baby Luna just fucking with Celestia in this castle. It just sounds amazing.
Hmm. It does.
So
So
Twilight get
anyway,
so Twilight gets
um,
the group together for some kind of group hoorah. They go deeper into the castle. One thing leads to another. They get to the Orgon, or well, Orgon, if you want to make it sound like a transformer. They get to the organ. There's a shadowy figure playing the organ, and it looks like the cover for an Exodus album. And they unmax the cloak to reveal dun 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 dun. John,
Pinkie Pie.
it's Pinkie Pie. Yeah,
Ah!
because that happens. And
Yeah.
Pinky says one of the best lines. It was like the only good line she could have said. She says possibly one of the best lines I've ever heard her utter. She says, "Hey guys, I didn't even know I could play the organ this good." I'm like, yes, that's like the best response you could have said to that. And she's like,
But then she tries to define why she's there and why she started playing the organ, because she only needed to ring the bell for like 5 minutes, and then it was cold, so she got the cloak and she came in following Rarity and Fluttershy, and it just feels really forced with how she says it.
like in Equestria Girls.
Pretty much.
The movie was
So,
fine until that part.
hmm so yeah.
So that aside,
Then they go back. Then they go back to the room where Celestia and Luna's diary is, and the only reason that Twilight wasn't scared was because she was reading and finding out that, yeah, she's kind of like quote unquote experiencing what Celestia and Luna went through, and so she wasn't scared. It was really weird.
yes, because
And then
books
we get
literally,
what replaces the morals.
yeah, because books
Oh,
immerse
go on.
you.
What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, yes, because books completely immerse you in a whole nother sense of reality. Everybody knows this. That's why I read the Ron Burgundy book. No, seriously, I have it right
So
here.
then we get the new. Nice. So then we get the new letter system, I guess you could say. They're going to
They
be writing
write-
diary or journal entries to each other.
They write in diaries. They retcon the letters to Celestia, only to have them send in letters whenever they feel like it. To have no letters at all, except for Twilight's bullcrap speech on friendship and acceptance to keep calm and flutter on. To now,
Mhm.
diaries.
Well, really, where else could they have gone with it? They can't send more letters to Celestia because Twilight's already learned all she wants about friendship.
She's a fucking
And-
princess.
Yeah, and now she's a princess. She's not Celestia's student anymore.
And this is what I
So-
was going to get into earlier about like
Okay.
Twilight's characterization and the development of everything. Because in season 1, what was the running thing? What was the buildup? It was to the Grand Galloping Gala, and the whole season 1 was all about the morals and the friendship. In the second one, there was no clear thing it was leading up to. I mean, yeah, we had the the Canterlot wedding, but that wasn't built up. It was only mentioned in the Canterlot wedding. Same thing with Twilight's brother and everything. In season 3, there's background stuff going on that subtly leads to Twilight's ascension, if you will. And in season 4, they're building it up with the chess. My point is that the diary thing seems more forced than most of the morals in season 1.
Mm.
Because and that leads me again to Twilight, because she's changed somewhat with the show, but it's made her, I think, more cocky inside, in the sense that she thinks she knows stuff. Because there was a film critic called, his name was Gene Siskel. Him and Roger Ebert used to have, well, Siskel and Ebert at the movies. And whenever he interviewed someone, he always asked the question in the end, "What do you know for sure?" That question always stuck with me, and I think it applies to Twilight. There's only a few things in life you can say for sure that you know, unless it's carved into stone.
Yeah.
And Twilight belittling Spike's fears and everyone else's fears just makes me think, wow, what a pretentious little jerk.
Especially because before they find everybody else, she walks past Spike when he's talking about maybe it's just more of this place falling apart, and she's like, no one likes what was it?
No one likes sarcasm, Spike.
Yeah.
What the hell about his
the
tone
heck?
was sarcastic? What about his tone was sarcastic?
And what was it that when you were saying it,
Oh yeah, but no,
it's
when
okay for you to say it, but it's not okay for Spike to say it?
oh yeah, no. But whenever Twilight's scared, and she wants everybody to help her. Lesson 0, preparations with Celestia crap. Everyone always gives her a comforting hoof. And remember how everyone's always banded together to help her, except for the one time in Carolot weddings because the plot demands it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only other time that Spike has ever really needed Twilight. The only other one I can truly think of is probably Spike at Your Bloody Service, where she's just like, oh, oh, Applejack saved your life. That's interesting. I'm reading.
Yeah.
So basically, to summarize it up, the best thing I can say is this episode's funny. It looks nice. The character interactions were awesome. The everything about it was awesome. The way the castle was put together, the music. I have to say really quick, the music was cool because it's a kids show, so it has that whimsical feel, but it still has enough of that feeling to where it's still kind of it's chilling for a kids show, like it's haunting for a kids show, and it was great. So yeah, episode was great. Fuck Twilight. That's my verdict.
Yeah.
What's your verdict?
Really, I really did enjoy the new location, and that it really kind of harkened back to a Scooby-Doo style of a cartoon, which is always a fun treat when you get that kind of little nod to Scooby-Doo, because Scooby-Doo was awesome.
Yeah.
But then you get also to the point where, all the character interactions were great. Although I will say that even though Josh Haber really gets the characters and how they work, and I did like how he characterized Fluttershy a lot, where she cared more about Angel than she did about herself. Although I think it kind of laid it on a bit too thick by the end, where it's like the 4th or 5th time where she's saying, "Where are you, Angel? You could get hurt. What happens? What about falling debris? Blah, 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 blah." But besides that, I really did enjoy this episode. I'm really excited about this season because so far we're getting some phenomenal episodes. We have not really skipped a beat when it comes to good writing in this season so far. Now, I don't know about next episode because that's going to be Dave Polsky, but,
Isn't that, what episode is that going to be again?
Daring Don't.
That's right. It's a Rainbow Dash episode.
But it could also mean the return of Daring Do.
Yeah, the fictional character that Rainbow Dash probably wants to sleep with.
Yep. So, yeah, that's a review of Castlemania. I'm glad you guys, just let us know what you guys thought. We'd like to hear what you guys think, and it's always fun to interact with you guys and just talk a little bit about what the episode was about and how we, what we liked, what we didn't like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's it from me, John.
And Snakeskin. Oh, and if I can add one quick thing, remember the part where Rarity falls down to the dirt in this episode, and she's got like dirt and twigs and stuff in her hair? Mm-hmm. Well, remember how that happened in the sleepover episode? Mm-hmm. And I know how in this episode she didn't freak out about getting dirty?
Yep.
Symbolism! I'm out.